see some of that peak early on. Penny already swinging his way around. Zelsis looking to apply pressure across the middle of the map as well. He gets cleaned up. First couple of kills going in favor of Sentinels.
Yeah, it's looking great for them. They've got that C-side control coming through. Vanity's going to get pinched from both sides. Not too much that he can do about that one. And it's going to leave Penny and Whippy in a situation where there's nothing less to do than just hit some really insane shots. And they're going to be up against some entrenched positions. I love the focus around Garage here. You're kind of coming off the site for the most part, and just holding that Garage control allows a lot of options defensively for Sentinels. And here comes the dive in. The Zombs will try to defend. Where's the trade at? The Cloudburst will deny the trade initially. The Viper will protect them. Claimed by version 1. Dapper's in that forward corner, looking to find a spot, and he's got the timing. Gotta be careful, though. However, he does have support, so it's looking pretty good here. Sentinels running off the back of these frags. In fact, actually, it would appear the Ultimate did not go to version 1, so that's a nice win for Sentinels as well.
On top of everything else that has already gone so right for them. My gosh, sick. It's just so gross. Zoms cleans it up as well.
You get all of the info on the site, and well, there it is. Version 1, they decided to go for more of a stack towards the A side of the map, and that just happens. That just happens sometimes where you have to take a gamble at the start of the round. It's not going to work out. But, you know, the retake is where it's at now.
Take flight.
Shazam on the entry there got one step closer to getting his Hunter's Fury online, and you see how Sentinels, they aren't just anchoring down on the site, right? These are excellent post-plant positions they've taken well. Of course, as I say that, Penny happens. He's good for 2 with the Vandal as they continue to push their way forward. Whippy wise to the lurk around Dapper as he gets cleaned up as well. Shazam and Tens left alone. They've got a Marshall. And well, it's a Marshall and it's Tens. So you don't count it out. Oh my gosh, you don't count it out! He's looking for more. He gets the other one as well. Is he gonna have enough time? Did he just rob the round? No, the defeat.
I feel like we need to see more Marshall buys, man. This is why the no-scope is nuts on this thing. Oh, round. Of course, Sentinels contacted into C, but we're going to see a more standard approach here from Sentinels. They got the drone going through straight away. The cage across as well. Penny is ready to fight from short. And Dapper, you know, he's crept out once again. This is one of the, you know, ways you want to try to play against this forward toxic screen. But he's going to take down Zelsis. Not ready for the wall to drop, it would seem. And at the same time, Tens was trying to creep into B. They've actually tried to out-game V1 with the rotation, but version 1 know what's up, and it's up to Zoms and Dapper now in the 2v3 to try to recover this one.
I mean, Dapper's down to 1 health. Well, of course, he just gets a little bit there, up to 20 now, but not in a great spot. They also don't in a 2v3, right? Like, I think the one thing you have going for you if you're Sentinels is you have plenty of time, right? And you have the element of surprise. You cut noise, make them guess about where they're going to go, and you see the impact that Haven being a 3-site map has. You have to spread yourself even more thin than you normally would, and that's going to allow Sentinels to get onto C. Zom's not getting the spike down yet. Here he goes. And V1 are, I mean, they're coming from all the way downtown to try to get to this retake.
Some time will be killed and just sort of making their way over. And again, we mentioned before, you know, Dapper's great at killing time. Zoms able to get the Cosmic Divide there. That's going to cause some problems. So sure, you get a lot of space here, but this is to try to create some gambly situations right now, because you've got to try to get lucky, and Dapper will not get lucky in this instance. Zoms now against 3 players, gets the first one with the headshot. Another 1v1 for him, but it looks like it's going to come.
Continue to invest utility there. The one difference is that we have not seen V1 take it early on and then establish that utility control like we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and this is the punish that we're seeing again, and we saw Cloud9 trying to do this a lot as well against version 1. You just try to play into Garage, you try to play into the C site. Version 1 again having to play the full retake. However, they do have the ults to try to do it. Sick. Oh, he's unable to get that. Has to get out of there, and in comes the Hunter's Fury. Oh, that's doing a lot of damage.
Oh, it is. Vanity's gonna get cleaned up. You saw the help show up just in the nick of time. Ten's gonna use that Blade Storm. A good idea of where one member was. He's going to get away scot-free. The only ultimate that Sentinels has going for them right now is the Blade Storm in the hands of Tens. Little Cloudburst to deny any information gathered from Effies as they start to dash their way through. Cloudburst not going to connect onto anything quite yet, just down to a couple of blades. Doesn't connect. Effie's cleans it up. Zik and Shazam trying to fight this thing back. The Viper's Pit's going to come out, and that might be exactly what they need to kind of keep them back. Sentinels, oh no, the shock dart from Shazam looking for a second one as well. Sick sweeps his way out. Sick, good for 3.
Well, it's a money plant, because if a player's trying to even, like, if you're in a 1v1, almost any situation, obviously the vision's denied. It's so easy, as you can see. So this, like, full send a shock dart there. No lineup is required. Active 1 when you're playing long, but in a version 1, you know, we've seen some scrappy rounds here. You know, lots of players dying, their money is ruined. Not actually opting for that initial Viper toxic screen to kind of diagonally go across a lobby, as we've seen in most of these situations. We can see instead that we've got a different placement, cutting through a long, short A as well as B. And Sick, you know, he's the duelist. He's trying to take some forward control, creating some space towards A short, clearing these positions. And depending on what happens here, in fact, it looks like they're just going to go for the full send. They've moved up pretty close, all 5 players, so they might as well just try to contact onto the site now. And there's only Penny there to try to stop this with a frenzy.
Man, he got spotted, instantly dashed away and got followed right up as Thames was hunting for him. It's actually Sick who cleans him up. As they've gotten control of the site, Sick 1 point away from having to run it back online. And as you mentioned, V1 don't have ideal weaponry now. Vanity does have the Marshall, and we saw just a couple of rounds ago how devastating that weapon can be. But can Vanity replicate what Tens was able to do? Does have the Cosmic Divide. Effie's has his ultimate as well. So there's certainly a world in which they pull this thing off. But man, it's going to be hard. All right, Vanity, good for 1. Not able to land the second one. He's going to get tagged up. Effie's cleans out. And there's just not enough time to...
One enemy remains.
Yeah, it's in a round like this, you would really need a couple of kills to come from that Marshall to start to convince you to think that maybe it's worth burning some of those ults.
Scanning ahead.
Early push. You see Zelsis creeps his way forward. Here's a little bit of that space denial, but like as you mentioned, like Cloud9 tried doing and has Sentinels has done a couple of times successfully in this map, they're just going to push away from that, right? Like if they understand that they can make their way into Garage, if they can make their way into C, there's just so much room to work with there, so much more room to breathe.
Yeah, and the toxic screen goes up to try to buy some time for the rotation here. You can see that right now, version 1 don't know what's going on. They're not really sure, and they're quite passive in their positions. They have no forward info, so they just have to sit on these spots that they have right now. And you can see they're holding fairly evenly across the map. So this just comes down to how well Sentinels will execute off of their positioning. They need garage control still if they're going to really try to finish this with a C split, which it looks like will be the case. Now, that recon might actually convince version 1 to burn some utility early on. And it looks like that's going to be the case, because there goes the Hunter's Fury from Effie's.
Penny getting one with the operator as well. You saw the run it back was used. Vanity playing around logs. Clean shot onto Tents to clean him up. Penny gets in on it as well with the operator, looking to make it sing some more. 2 members remain on the side of Sentinels. Make that 1 as Penny gets 3. The 4th gets cleaned up from Effie's as V1.
Operator, they're going to be playing for a lobby again. 3 players there. They're not using that same diagonal A lobby Viper wall. It's still the same one we had previously. And Sentinels, they're trying to capitalize on the early timings. They're going to walk straight into B.
And it's going to be undetected. I mean, the only one who's kind of close here is Effie's, who's may get some info. The wall still hasn't gone up, but at this point, they know exactly where the play is coming from. You don't see anything aggressively going on a flank through Garage or anything like that. They're just going to try to work their way in through the cuts. And you see Sentinels, their post plants are off the site, right? Like, they don't want to get caught in the chaos of what happens on B proper. They can just take good positioning and fight from behind that. Also, Dapper on a flank, looking to get behind them, but is there going to be enough time? Cosmic Divide coming out. Sick looking to work his way through the gravity well into the hot hands. The dart is there as well to try to give that info away. There's Dapper on the flank. Just such a nuisance. He cleans up Zelsis as well with 10 health left. V1 have to work their way through this, and Sentinel's actually going aggressively. They stop the defuse. Penny's left alone. A flawless round.
To worry about anything. In fact, it was version 1 that were getting split up. So just a really strong look on that B round that a lot of teams don't tend to have that much control. So it's very cool to see that from Sentinels. And Once again, playing the eco. And what did we see last time? You know, they just contacted into the A site. And looks like that might happen again here, it seems, because they get the opening pick there. The info from the neural theft will reveal Penny's position. They know he has got the knives out as well. Oh!
No way. No way. Flashed as he looks for more. No, he's going to get cleaned up from 10s. But you're right, Dan. If you can, in a situation like this, if it worked before, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. They do play contact onto the site. They get the spike down as well. There's some decent weaponry, I guess, right? Like, we've seen Vanity.
Standing ahead.
That's how devastating he can be with that weapon. But, well, we're not going to get a chance to see any of that this time around.
Pretty heavy commit towards the A side of the map once again. Penny's going to be peeking that short A position, where Dapper's, you know, typically been running default. And once again, I love this from Sentinels. They're abusing the fact that version 1 have these mid openings at the early timing of the round. And they're going to walk straight in with the run it back from Sick. He's going to look for those C players, and he might just find them.
Oh, he's got Vanity. Yep, he's able to clean him up. There was another one there, but the ult got taken offline. The damage was still done as the spike goes down on B. Now, a slightly different flavor from what we saw last time, right? Keep an eye on 10s. He's back in Gong. He's by himself now. He's been given away. The Cloudburst not able to keep him alive as Zelsis cleans him up. This is already a very different look. Once again, Dapper's going to be on the flank trying to work his way around. Penny cleans up Shazam as they have to fight through some of that utility, but the flank actually comes out from Whippy to give them a bit more room to breathe. And as things continue to tick away, Dapper's going to be a problem again. Sick gets onto 3, Zelsis alone. Zelsis gets cleaned up. Sentinels get to 7.
Fact that version 1 are committing early timings away, or their players away from the middle of the map. And it's not just that Sentinels are abusing that. They know how to play it. They know how to play that B side. It's clear.
This time leaning into a bit of the aggression that version 1 liked to show. Into A as there's heavy presence. Penny's going to have to dash away. Doesn't get tagged up. Version 1 here on this lighter buy. Looking to see if they can turn the tides here a bit. And Dan, I think you make a really good point. We saw Cloud9 try to do this yesterday, right? They tried to exploit the middle of the map. They tried to push away from the pressure from V1, but they did not have the same success. And I think it comes down to their execution at the end of the day. They do know how to play around these sites, and they're making things work that Cloud9 were not able to.
Yeah, I mean, in this round 2, Sentinels slowed down massively because they thought version 1 would try to flank them, but version 1 had a better sense than that. Zelsis able to dismiss back and away as Sentinels start to charge through to C. Beautiful stuff from him, able to equalize to a 4v4, but still, they're going to have to retake onto the C site, and in terms of the ult economy, it's not looking great here for version 1, and it's looking even worse in terms of weaponry. Only 3 Spectres and a Frenzy to try to get the retake working, and it's going to be a long setup again. So this is going to be very hard for version 1.
And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Dan. Leaning towards your gun advantage. If they take away, if they try to play around long, they're going to have the advantage in that situation over Spectres, over Frenzies. Of course, as I say that, Penny cleans one up, cleans the second one up as well. Penny 1v2, he has to push into that. Yeah, you felt the difference, right? Like, Sentinels played around that gun advantage that they had, and they played to...
We've got Sick once again walking up mid into that B site, looking for that run it back opening.
Now, Vanity has pushed his way early into Garage. There's that run it back that you mentioned, Vanity making his way around. He's in a great spot for the flank, but no, his position's been given away. Dealt a bit of damage, but he got cleaned up at the hands of 10s. Sick looking to continue to push his way forward. Zelsis on the back of the site. And this is the first time we've seen this, right, Dan, where they try to have that exact same hit, test the waters, it doesn't pan out, and they try to flip the map, and Dapper's made his way onto C. He's going to get cleaned up, but they've still gotten onto the site.
There goes Penny right around Logs. He's going to get 2. And with that, it's down to Shazam. 10 health left. It's not going to be a good look for him. The double swing comes through.
Even when on attack, they fight for a lobby control through utility, and it's just enough to make them think twice about it. As you see V1, they got the Viper's wall up, but they're moseying their way towards B as well as they can. Penny, as you mentioned, needing to come online for V1 here, good for the first kill of the round. They're going to work their way into Garage towards C, and Sentinels are going to show up a bit late. But can they take the site back? Whippy looking to get the spike down.
Spike planted.
Does just that.
Garage controls a good start for Sentinels on the retake effort. The Star's getting put down as well. Both arms there's the gravity well as they start to make their way through. Vanity gets great damage finisher from Penny as Zelsis from the back side. It's also holding back sight. And there goes the dash. That's Ten's forced out of the sight. And that's another choke point he now has to move through. Dash in the tank unless he gets another frag out of this. Time is against him. He's going to have to keep pushing. He's got no other choice. And his opponents, they know it. And at this point, there goes the poison orb. And I mean, of course, Tens will get the kill, but it will be in vain ultimately as we get taken down. But one thing that's critical... Oh, oops. I want
to get the round. Now, they've got a couple of weapons going into this thing, and Sentinel's certainly not coming from a same position. And much like we've spoken in the past, you're going to try to get that ult orb into the hands of V1. Control around that. Think about playing for the longevity of the half.
He does not like what he sees. But a freebie site for Vanity and Zelsis. They're definitely going to be liking that. But the B side, it is hard to hold, and Dapper's going to pick up a frag hit, starting to look a little bit sketchy for version 1. Vanity down to 7 HP, 6 wrapping, and we'll get dealt with. That's an important one. I really felt
coming through.
Felt dangerous, man.
It did. And you know, it's funny, you seldom see teams with a gun advantage intentionally playing into B, but that seems like what V1 wants to do here. They do manage to get the spike down, but they're far from out of the woodworks. There's a shorty, a couple of members of Sentinel as well. Okay, that certainly helps things. And if it's not the shock dart, it's the bulldog. Effys gets 4. Whippy. We'll see what they can do to him to keep V1 back.
Oh my god. For Effys, and I think around looks like they want to just go for Ascend it on C. And it's fairly telegraphed here. The drone's going to come through. Now, the question is how much they commit to this. Of course, we've got the lurk coming through into Garage from Zelsis. And the question is, you know, with that toxic screen, the drone coming through, they didn't get rid of the cam, though. That cam basically tells Sentinels that it's all a lie.
Yeah. At least for the time being. There's still presence, right? The ult orb is still up, too, so you just imagine V1's going to try to get that, clean that up and go on about their merry way.
There's a trip in Garage as well. And so Dapper, with the cam and that trip, he's able to kind of trade that utility really effectively, because there was a lot burned by V1 to try to suggest they were doing something towards C. And now they're having to rotate towards A. And you've got this spot coming through as well from Sick, who's playing A long at the moment. So there's going to be possibly a low amount of time here for version 1 if they're not careful to complete this round. But the Hunter's Fury could make the difference. Or rather, it was, 30 seconds to get the spike down. It's starting to get a little bit sketchy in terms of timings.
And you see V1, like they've invested 2 players still off site. Both Vanity and Zelsis are playing off, and with 30 seconds left, you mentioned you start to feel some of that pressure of it being time to go. They flip the map again. And at this point, there's no question about it. They have to go towards C. Effys using the Hunter's Fury. The Gravity Well was used as well. Dapper good for 1, though. It's just good. It's going to be enough time. It might be enough to buy just enough to get them. They can't get onto the site. I don't think they're going to be able to get the plant down. Vanity trying to get it.
They didn't exactly know what the best answer was. Ooh, that's version 1 moving towards A long. That's a lot of presence felt by Sentinels, and they might try to play retake here. They are kind of ambling out of the site right now. But given what version 1 just did, Sentinels might be unsure if this is a commitment or not. But we can see that it most certainly is. The spike is still actually a little bit far away. It's in short still. Oh, Zombs picks up 1. And now Shazam's asking questions too.
V1 not just happy with taking control of the site. They wanted to push their way forward, push the defending lines back even more. While the kills were traded, they still managed to get onto the site. They managed to get the spike down at the hands of Effys, and they're playing back a good bit, right? Like you see both Whippy and Vanity playing pretty far off the site. Effys is doing it as well. They're just leaving Penny on the site to play hero. He's got a Blade Storm. He's got a chance at something. Swings out. No, he gets popped right in the mouth. Yeah, it's the lineups. That's what it was out of Whippy. Ult Orb comes out. Drops as well and just continues to delay, continues to buy time. Sick using the curveballs to perfection to try to get onto Whippy, and no, Whippy cleans him up, wins that fight. They're on the tap. You're going to have to go. You see the shock darts coming out as well. Tens isn't going to have enough time. He had to pull off. He had to pull off. The delay again out of V1. Previously, it was from 7.
They're just trying to get all the bodies onto a site effectively. And, you know, I'm just pausing here because I'm like, do I have time to actually make this point? It looks like we might have some action coming through from both version 1 with Penny trying to get a look into Garage, but Sick is pretty close by as well. And they have a Sheriff on him. Tens with the knives. He's going to find both frags. And okay, that's a problem because the Thrifty is feeling pretty close right now because of this. And Sick's out there too. He's got that Sheriff in hand. He's tagged up Effies, and Tens is going to finish it off. It was the layup, the setup from Sick, the dunk from Tens, and now it's a 4 versus 2, and they're spreading the wealth. The guns are getting distributed, and now they might just walk into Zoms.
This round has gone absolutely sideways, and it was really all off the backs of Tens and his Blade Storm. And the one silver lining, if you will, for V1 is that they do still have control of the spike. And they have 40 seconds. They have some time. They've shown propensity to play down to the very last second of the round when it comes to where they want to go. But the thing is, Dan, they don't have a ton of information, right? Like they're really guessing, and even with regardless of what the guess is, you have to understand there's a chance you're going to walk into someone when you're at this heavy at a numbers disadvantage, and it may who else but Tens with 4. Shazam cleans Sentinels.
Oh man. You know, the thing is, you know, the drone goes through and you feel a sense of safety if you're version 1. You can't really fault them for peeking that because the version 1, they have very little in the tank here. It's Penny with that Vandal, and they're going hard towards this A site right now. They might just want to full commit here.
Yeah. Oh, and they're going to commit right into an operator from Tens. Info's there, gives some spot away. He lands a shot onto Penny, the only rifle in the round for V1 offline here as he's looking for more. Trying to make some more magic happen with the op. See Sick, using the run it back as well, and just pushing so many members back, right? Like he clears out so much space.
And it's so difficult here as well because with having a frag up and the damage done for Sentinels, they don't even have to play hard stop if they don't want to. They can try to play more of a retake game where they allow these players of version 1 who have to get the spike down. They allow them to try to come through some of these choke points, but they have to go against Tens. If Tens picks off 1, Tens could decide to just get out the site and then play the retake game. Like right now, the timing's not perfect for Zoms, but it doesn't really matter because Tens is gonna...
Viper's pit, and obviously the Empress can be problematic as well. So they've got some of that in their pocket, but like you said, Dan, this is really do or die for version 1 on this map. You start to run out of windows. You start to run out of opportunities to make something happen. They've taken the middle of the map. Looks like they're going to try to play into B again. Penny's going to dash his way forward, stick with the curveball and the hot hands to delay, to buy time. As the Viper's pick goes down. Under Shuri coming out from Shazam. Tagged up Vanity, certainly, or excuse me, I believe that was Penny. Yeah, he got messed up a bit there, but it wasn't enough for the kill, but Zoms was. The spike does go down. What can they do? Sick playing around through. His health starts to dwindle down, but he manages to land the shots to get the kill anyway. Clipper and Stride, but information gathered. Dapper good for 1 as well. V1 just down to 2 members left. They're both playing off site. You imagine Dapper here, if he could just be enough of a nuisance, gonna buy him some time, but no, Zelsis and Vanity get cleaned up. Or they clean up. Celsius has to go. He's going to drop the Leer. The gravity well was there, but Vanity goes absolutely huge.
It's counterintuitive to drop the Cosmic Divide in this situation because, it's like, but then you can't see the spike, but it's short A. Control for Sentinels quickly towards that A lobby position. They're going to rotate off A, reinforce B. Better timing here now from Sentinels on this defense. They're all grouped up and ready on that B side already. Now, that would not be a great opportunity for version 1. They're going to have to instead try to work something else. But we talked about this. They like to group up. They're all towards Garage right now. And Sentinels have players in position for this.
Oh, man. And again, the gravity well just delays, right? Just buys enough time for Sentinels to be able to rotate to get onto the site. And V1 kind of understanding that, a little touch and go. They're going to pull off. Zelsis is left up aggressively. Curveball. Zelsis in the fight against Sick. Some damage dealt, but V1 decide to double down and stick onto the side. Dapper wisely just lets Penny go by and cleans up. One of the members of V1 sick. Shows up just in the nick of time. He's got the classic, looking for more. V1 at a numbers disadvantage. It ties up to 3 apiece. Again, looking for magic with the classic Whippy and Penny. It's just TenZ alone. TenZ with the operator, no Blade Storm in tow. But as we've said, you never count him out.
To get, a fight on the C side where it's only Dapper to worry about, which they trade out effectively. So now, moving forward, it looks like there is still just enough money in the tank here for another buy from Sentinels, but they don't have the operator on TenZ. Oh, Zealous is going for a timing in this B side. There goes the Lear. Nothing in response, no utility used. A site is given because TenZ is so far forward. This is scary stuff. The tension is palpable here because if TenZ pushes and runs into Whippy, that's a problem. They're going to go for garage control. How much can Sick get out of the Judge?
The Judge, good for one. The Cosmic Divide comes out. Whippy waiting for TenZ, who was on the slow burn the entire time, wins that duel. Sentinels have the numbers advantage. V1 painfully outnumbered here, and they don't have the spike. They're going to have to pull back. Dapper and really the rest of Sentinels have full control of Garage here. Oh, Shazam cleans him up.
Be a huge commit towards this A lobby control. We'll see how this one goes. Shazam with the recon, and he's going to fall back. It looks like, it's going to be a great opening there for V1. TenZ goes down.
Oh, that's big. That's big, and Penny gets the Blade Storm online too, so it's not just TenZ, but Zoms and Shazam clean up a couple. Shazam looking for more, but no, we are Zealous' chance coming across as Zealous goes absolutely bonkers for V1. He's gonna get the spike down, but Sick is on the flank. He's got to run it back as well. You see Dapper applying pressure from up in heaven. Curveball coming out. Sick looking for more. Dapper quims out at just the right time. It's just one. It's Effie's. Woody, you have the clutch and you cleans one up. But no, the hot cans cooks him. Sick's going to be able to get the defuse. Sentinels take a 2-map lead in this best of 5.